what are the solutions before us? I know that you represent a dialogue group. Is that one of the options that you'd recommend?
Dialogue is the way.
It's the only option.
Dialogue cannot do. Even America, with its military-industrial complex and sophistication, have been dialoguing all over the world. They are not using military option as the last option, as the first option. Dialogue is the only way, and dialogue is the best way. Why do I say so? Because in dialogue, you try to understand each other. Parties are free to express exactly why are they taking arms against the state. They are human beings. Of course, of recent, so many groups have made. I
beg to differ. I beg to differ with your position. We are speaking about individuals who have gone attacking elements of the state. They have gone about killing policemen, even law-abiding citizens across the roads. Attacks on Kaduna Abuja highway not only affects the government, it affects the civilians as well. People being kidnapped, sent into the bushes, kept there for weeks, months on end. Some never see the light of day again. And you're asking the government to dialogue with these people?
Well, if the government is not going to dialogue, they can continue spending the trillions of naira meant for the welfare of people in addressing security issue. There are options. When government fails, deliberately or by choice or by misapplication, when a government fails to provide basic amenities, when government has allowed people to go bankrupt, when farmers cannot go to the farm, when children cannot go to school, when, and the government is expecting that people are not going to react. There are different ways of different people reacting to different issues, reacting to different circumstances, reacting to different environments. There is always a reaction. For every action, there is a reaction. Nobody is justifying what is happening now, but we are saying that the government takes a major share of the state failure. If the state has not failed, if there is no failure on the part of government, there would not have been this increase in crime. There is a linear relationship.
It almost appears like you're taking brief.
There is a direct, indirect, and linear relationship between the failure of government to discharge its obligations and the ability of citizens to be law-abiding.
So I am also affected by all the issues that you have mentioned. Should I also go about taking arms, kidnapping people, taking them for ransom?
I'm also affected, but for no fault of mine, I'm also affected.
So should me and you go about getting arms? Should we also go into the forest and begin to kidnap?
Well, that is what other governors are saying. The governors are telling you that we have failed. At least for now, the governor of Benue, the governor of Zamfara, the governor of Kaduna State have come out in the open and telling their citizens, buy guns, buy arms, and defend yourself. What is the meaning? The meaning is that we can no more protect you. We can no more assure you of safety. We have failed.
Isn't that a call for anarchy?
The military have failed. The military have failed, and they have failed to protect people.
Where
a governor who operates a budget.
Yes. Isn't that a call for anarchy and a show of failure of the system?
I concur with you. It's a call for anarchy. If a governor can tell you go and buy arms, he is inviting anarchy. He is telling you that I have failed. It's an indication that anarchy is looming, unless something is done urgently. Something must be done urgently.
You know, the government came out yesterday after the NSA came out yesterday after their security meeting with service chiefs, and he did say that indeed Nigerians are all out for self-help. Now, you begin to wonder where this will take us to as a people and as a nation. And then we now have a government that prides itself as one that had been able to curb insecurity in Nigeria. It is indeed a very saddening situation, Madisho.
Yeah, I very much agree with you. I think they are forgetting about how Somalia started. They are forgetting about how Southern Sudan started. They are forgetting how Yemen started. They are forgetting how Libya started. They are forgetting how Iraq started. They are forgetting what happened in Bosnia Herzegovina, Croatia. I think they are not learning from history. If you are looking for symbols or signs of failure of states, if you reflect what happened in these 7 countries I mentioned, virtually every of the things that happened in those states is currently happening in Nigeria. There is a need for the government, the current government, especially the federal government, to do a soul search, to look inwards, and to admit that they have failed. Not only admit they have failed, they should make arrangement to depart. It's not a shame to depart when you have failed, but it will be more painful and more shameful for a country to collapse right under your nose as a president. It will be perilous, it will be disastrous, it will be a shame. History will record somebody who presided over the collapse of a nation in a very, very bad light. And I think General Muhammadu Buhari should not allow Nigeria to collapse right under his own nose. He should come out to do the needful. I wonder whether 6 months is enough for him to do the needful. But there is an urgent need for him to do the needful, either by sacrificing his own chair, by sacrificing his own cabinet, or by taking urgent steps, as urgent as possible, as urgent as yesterday, to address this issue of insecurity before it is too late.
Could the needful also be the president resigning as against being impeached has been initiated by some lawmakers? Would you think that he should just resign, peacefully resign?
If I were him, looking at the number of people decanting from his own party to the opposition party or to other parties, if I were him, I would resign today and live with the remaining honor that I have. If he allowed himself to be impeached, it will go down history as somebody who came with the high measure of acceptability nationwide, relatively speaking, and left with the lowest popularity ever recorded in the history of governance in Nigeria. Those who are around Mr. President, those who love Mr. President, those who still want Mr. President to live peacefully for the rest of his life, should please advise Mr. President, please, Mr. President, thank you for your sacrifice as a military officer, former. Thank you for your sacrifice as a former military of state. Thank you for your sacrifice as the chairman of PTF. Thank you for attempting to become the president 3 times, only lucky during the 4th time. Thank you for going through all the trials and tribulations associated with your office. Thank you for seeing what is happening now. But please, thank you, kindly go. They should advise him to go. It is more honorable. They should not allow the National Assembly to impeach him. If they impeach him, it is going to be dishonorable for him and dishonorable for everybody who loves him and who likes him. And there are so many people who like him also.
Okay. While your positions are yours, I'm not sure anyone within the presidency would agree with either of the solutions that you have recommended. You've recommended that a dialogue should be put in place for the terrorists, and you're also then recommending that the president should possibly resign instead of being impeached. Nonetheless, we appreciate you for joining us on the program today. Thank you so much for bearing your thoughts with us on all of the matters that actually stand before the country. We hope that we can solve the security situation in Nigeria. Mahdi Shehu is a rights activist and chairman Dialogue Group. Thank you so much for being a part of the program today.
Thank you.